Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Watford in the FA Cup third round. So like I said on the preview, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will make a lot of rotation in the squad. He's already said that he will be resting quite a few players. So, I think he's going to go with Dean Henderson in goal. Dean Henderson started against Manchester City in the EFL Cup semi-final. And that was his Old Trafford career debut. And to his credit, he did quite well against Manchester City. Made a few good saves to deny Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez. Couldn't really do much about City's 2 goals. Now, like I've said to you, I think at some point Dean Henderson will become our number 1 goalkeeper, just not at the moment. Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him, because don't forget he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. He also had a loan spell with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury before. We got Dean Henderson at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. And was it during the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth around £120,000 a week. So yeah, Dean Henderson in goal. Now, at right back, I think we're going to go with Timothy Fosu-Mensah. He seldom plays for Manchester United, but I think he'll play in this one. I think he played a few games earlier on the season, played a couple of games towards the end of last season. It recently said that Timothy Fosu-Mensah rejected a 3.5-year deal, and it said that Marseille and Hertha are interested in him and they're willing to pay a small fee for him. There's obviously other options at right back. There's Tuanzebe, that's an option at right back. You can put Brandon Williams as a right back. And Wan-Bissaka is also an option. He's obviously our first choice right back, but Wan-Bissaka I don't think will start this game. Now, I think the 2 centre-halves will be Axel Tuanzebe and Eric Bailly. I've been very, very impressed with Eric Bailly recently. Eric Bailly didn't play any part against Manchester City. I thought he would have actually played against Manchester City in the EFL Cup semi-final, but Bailly did start our last 4 games in a row prior to the game against City. Like I've said to you, my only element of concern about Eric Bailly is that he is injury prone. But prior to that, he's a good centre-half. He shows that ability to play out from the back. He makes good interceptions. He's very effective in the air. And I do definitely prefer him over Victor Lindelof. Bailly's endured over 4 years now at Man United. We got him £30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Now at left back, I think we're going to go with Alex Telles. Some United fans will say we could go with Brandon Williams. We certainly won't go with Luke Shaw. But yeah, I think it will be Alex Telles. I think Alex Telles has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. But there again, he has had a couple of bad games. Don't forget, on deadline day in the summer last year, we got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million. But I like the way that Telles gets forward. He gets in good positions and he puts good crosses into the box. Now in the midfield, I think we're going to go with Donny van der Beek and Nemanja Matic. Donny van der Beek's got to start this game against Watford. Donny van der Beek was actually advised to pack his bags. if he didn't play against Manchester City. Now, he did come on with 2 minutes to go against City, and a lot of our fans were infuriated by that. Could we loan Donny van de Beek out this month? Solskjaer has actually said that he will have to wait for his chance at Man United. He insists that he's got a bright future at Man United, and he tips Donny van de Beek to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at Man United. Donny van de Beek seldom starts, especially in the league. He's only started 2 games in the league, and that was against West Ham and Southampton. A lot of his appearances have come from the bench. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front, and there was £5 million in add-ons. Corriere dello Sport, which is an Italian newspaper, they said that Inter Milan are looking to get him on loan in this January transfer window, and Christian Eriksen could be part of the deal. We've been tentatively linked with Christian Eriksen, but I don't see Christian Eriksen coming to Man United. Now, Nemanja Matic, he's actually ahead of Donny van de Beek in the team. Nemanja Matic did have some good games, though, towards the end of last season. Was it just before the start of the season? He signed a 3-year contract with Man United. Now, we did get Nemanja Matic in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Now, should we have actually started Matic against Man City? Matic didn't play any part against Man City, so I think he's going to start in this one. Now, I think ahead of Donny van de Beek and Matic, we will go with Juan Mata. I think we're going to put Juan Mata in that number 10. Now, to Juan Mata's credit, he's had a good career at Man United. He's enjoyed a good, 6 years or so at the football club. He's scored 50 goals for Man United in all competitions, and he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Now, don't forget, earlier on this season, he rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian club was unnamed. Juan Mata, though, when he's played this season, he's enjoyed a few good games. Now, I think on that left-hand side, we are going to go with Daniel James. Daniel James doesn't get in the team a lot now, does he? But I think he will start this one against Watford. James, I think, started against Leicester on Boxing Day. He also started against Leeds. He put a very, very good performance out against Leeds. We got Daniel James back in June 2019 in a deal worth £18 million. Now, I think on that right-hand side, we are going to go with Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood didn't start against City, but he obviously come off the bench. Hasn't been playing a lot of football recently, but Solskjaer's been defending Mason Greenwood a lot this season. This is his second season in our senior squad. Now, don't forget, earlier on in the season, Mason Greenwood had personal issues. He obviously was out with injury at one point, and he also had illness. At the start of this season, we give him that number 11 shirt. And up top, I think we are going to go with Odion Ighalo. Odion Ighalo seldom plays for Man United, but I think he will start this game against Watford. If he does, he'll be reuniting with his former club, because he was at Watford before Shanghai Shenhua. Now, we got Odin Igalo in January of last year. It was on deadline day. We got him on loan. The main explanation we brought him in was to get a cover up to Marcus Rashford, because at the time, Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. To Igalo's credit, though, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. His loan expires at the end of this month, I think. So that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Watford on Saturday night. Now, obviously, Edison Cavani is not available for the game. He's got one game to serve. He's already served 2 games. And like I said, Edison Cavani has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Solskjaer said not so long ago that Edison Cavani is definitely a starter. He says we are looking to extend his contract. And Solskjaer revealed the first thing that Edison Cavani asked him when he came into the club, and that's whether he can wear the number 7 shirt. We got Edison Cavani on deadline day in the summer. He signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a 2nd year. And I said when we got him, he will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Phil Jones is obviously not available because he's out with injury. Now, as for Watford, they are in the Championship. They are 6th in the Championship. Obviously, they got relegated from the Premier League last season. Their current manager is Cisco. They sacked Vladimir Ivic last month. And obviously before they had Nigel Pearson, they had him for quite a while. Now, we've played Watford in the FA Cup on 6 previous occasions, like I mentioned on my preview. The most recent was April 2007, when we beat them 4-1. Obviously, Watford's key players are Troy Deeney and Ismail Assar. Man United have actually been linked with Ismail Assar before. They've obviously got Glenn Murray. They got him on loan from Brighton. They've got James Garner. He's prevented from playing against his parent club due to FA rules. But Watford got James Garner on loan from us. They've also got Tom Cleverley. He's a former Man United player, so could he be reuniting with the club on Saturday? They've also got Ben Foster, who's a former Man United goalkeeper. Watford have also got some injuries, like I updated you on the preview. They've got Quinier out with injury. They've got Peresia, however you pronounce the name, out with injury. Christian Cabersil, Craig Cathcart and Joe Pedro out with injury. And Dele Bashiru is also out with injury. I think he's out until June. Don't forget, last summer, Watford let Decore go, and he was one of their key players. We should be beating Watford though. Like I said, we have won the FA Cup 12 times. We are the 2nd most successful team in FA Cup history. Obviously, the last time we won the FA Cup was back under Louis van Gaal back in 2016. We did get to the FA Cup semi-final last season, but Chelsea had beaten us in the semi-final. Obviously, after Watford, we have got Burnley. If we do beat Burnley, we will go 3 points clear of Liverpool at the top. We were supposed to be playing Burnley on the opening day of the season, but obviously it got postponed. And after Burnley, we have got Liverpool, and that's going to be a massive game. You know, if we do beat Liverpool, we will be 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. So it is the right decision to rest players for this game against Watford, but you have got to say that the FA Cup is a priority for us. You know, we've got to bounce back from that 2-0 defeat to Manchester City. You know, we're obviously out of the EFL Cup. You know, City have reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final. You know, it's 2nd season in a row they've knocked us out of the semi-final. And it was our 4th defeat in a row in the semi-final under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we lost 3 semi-finals last season. You know, like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave his perception on the City game. And he said, you know, Man United weren't good enough. We're getting closer, but he did make an admission saying that City are the best team in England. He just basically said, you know, we didn't have enough big chances in the game. But Solskjaer was saying prior to the City game that Man United have no excuse for losing another semi-final. And, there was no excuse. But I said it was going to be a difficult game, and I said it could have gone either way because, you know, we've been in a good vein of form. We're unbeaten in our last, 10 league games. You know, City, we're going into that game, you know, unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. But anyway, we move on. There's 3 trophies that we can pursue this season still. You know, we can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. And that game against Real Sociedad in the Europa League is going to be tough in February because Real Sociedad have done very, very well this season in the La Liga. And I think we do need to win a trophy this season to lift the pressure on Solskjaer, like Gary Neville recently mentioned. Like I've said to you, we are in the title race. Because like I said, we're joint top of the Premier League table with Liverpool at the moment. But like I've said to you, I'm very, very sceptical that we'll win the Premier League this season. But I won't totally disregard it. We cannot beat the big teams under Solskjaer, and that's been proven this season. You know, we haven't beaten City yet, and we've played them twice already. You know, we haven't beaten Tottenham, we haven't beaten Chelsea, we haven't beaten Leicester. You can say, you know, the only 2 big teams we've beat is PSG and RB Leipzig in the Champions League. You know, we did beat a couple of big teams last season. You know, we beat Man City 3 times last season. We beat Chelsea 3 times. You know, we beat Tottenham once. But we've obviously got to do that this season. You know, Solskjaer has basically said that we need to make more signings if we are to be title contenders. And don't forget, he did say, after our 1-0 win against Wolves, that we are not in the title races yet, but he said if we are still challenging at the top come March, then he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. But, you know, if we do win the Premier League title, it will be our 21st title overall and our first title since 2013. And I think we'll definitely win another Premier League title, just probably not this season. But I've already said to you, if we finish in the top 4, the top 3 this season and we win a trophy, I think that will represent a very, very good season for Man United, and that will give us something to build on. You know, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 2nd full season as Manchester United manager. And I always said this season was going to be big for him. Solskjaer has been Man United manager now for just over 2 years. So you can say, reflecting how long he's been at the club, he has learnt quite a bit, and he has gained some managerial experience. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not under that much pressure at the moment, despite our recent loss to City. But obviously, if we are to be winless in our next 4 or 5 games, then I think, the pressure will start to be back on him. I think Solskjaer will be Man United manager at the end of this season. He'll probably be given another season at the club. And if he is, that will be his third full season at Man United. But there again, if we was to finish out of the top 4 this season and we was to be trophyless, then there's a good chance he could be sacked. But this January transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said to you earlier on today, Solskjaer's been let down so far in this transfer window, and he's been let down in all of the transfer windows, you can say, since he got appointed in. But Woodward has said that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this transfer window. Is Solskjaer going to recruit the signings he wants to bring in? That's the question. Now, obviously, we have got a lot of players on our agenda. You already know the news on Moises Caicedo. You know the news on Amad Diallo Traore. It's now official. Man United have signed him. Jack Grealish, his transfer to Man United is possible. But I think even if we sign him, it will be this summer, not in this January transfer window. And I think we'll only get Grealish anyway if we do sell Paul Pogba. You already know the news on Erling Haaland. Reportedly now is Solskjaer's priority, and we want to sign Haaland instead of Jadon Sancho. I think it said towards the end of last year that Solskjaer has made a new centre-back his number 1 transfer priority. But, we're also going to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings, like I've said so many times. And Solskjaer recently held talks with 6 players he wants to get rid of in this January transfer window. The players we're looking to get rid of is obviously Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Sergio Romero. I think we'll also get rid of Daniel James, and I think Brandon Williams will go out on loan. And like I said, more players will leave Man United in the summer. But, we have got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer credit. This season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. He's got us joint top of the Premier League table. He did well last season in his first full season at the club. He has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Man United. Because like I mentioned, when he came into the club, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood, and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. Like I said, the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. Ole's made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He spent over £200 million at the club. So there is definitely positives to take. Yes, his decision making is very concerning, Solskjaer's, because he's made mistakes in a lot of games, and that's obviously cost us. And you can say he was naive in the game against Manchester City recently. But yeah, some United fans' perceptions maybe would have changed on Solskjaer after the 2-0 defeat to City yesterday night. Maybe there's now more Man United fans demanding Ole out, but on the other side of things, there's Man United fans that are still Ole in. It is disappointing that we didn't beat City, but looking at it another way, City are a good team. And we weren't bad, we had those periods in the game where we kept the ball well and we had some good chances, but City were just better on the night. You know what I mean? And our away form's been good. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League this season, but what we're doing away from home, we've got to replicate that at home. We have started to win more games away from home. We have started to win more games at home recently in the league. We have won 4 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season because we was enjoying our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. You know what I mean? But Solskjaer's been under pressure quite a few times since he got appointed in as Man United manager. And don't forget, at one point, Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over. Obviously, there was talks of Julian Nagelsmann coming in. Massimiliano Allegri's been on our agenda a few times. At one point, Thomas Tuchel was on our agenda. But yeah, Pochettino's now he's out of the equation because obviously he's PSG's new manager. PSG sacked Thomas Tuchel on Christmas Eve last year. You know what I mean? So, there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.